All right, so Mr. Carey, what do you remember about Mr. Evans?
Mr. Evans was an incredibly beloved teacher here. He taught band and chorale and choir and all those things, and he really had a tremendous connection with his students. His students absolutely loved him, and he was always somebody that students felt that they could go to and they could talk to, and he was a person that would intervene on behalf of students. If students, his band students, were struggling in a particular class, he would reach out to those other teachers and he would work with the student in order to help those students be successful. And I miss having him around campus, but I feel even worse knowing that he passed away. It's just missing him as a person and knowing what he did for this community and for this school.
Matthew, what do you remember about Mr. Evans?
He was a great band teacher. I was his student for 2 years in 8th grade and 9th grade, and he was just all around really great guy. He was a great teacher, loved music. I had a lot of fun in his classes. I'll miss him.
Betancourt, what do you remember about Mr. Evans?
I remember him being a guy that was very kind, had a great sense of humor. He's a great band teacher, music teacher, choir teacher. He was a Simpsons fan as well. We shared that in common as well. And after he retired, he gave me all his Simpsons stuff, most of his Simpsons stuff that he had in his class. So, wonderful man. He's going to be greatly missed, and yeah.
All right, so Mr. Nazar, what do you remember about Mr. Evans?
Well, first, I had the great opportunity. When I taught here at the high school in the 1990s. He and I were colleagues. We taught together. We shared many of the same students. What I remember most is his humanity. He loved young people. He loved teaching. He loved teaching music. And I had a lot of his students, and I know how much they loved him. He cared about them. He cared about all of us who worked at this school, and the loss that I feel is it's just tremendous. I was able to see him a few weeks ago, and we had a great talk, and maybe it was a month ago, and I'm always going to miss him, and I think all of us who knew him are going to have a little piece in our heart there for him, because he definitely touched our lives.
Okay, so what do you guys remember about Mr. Evans?
Mr. Evans was an amazing guy, best teacher I've ever had. He just understood the students, he remembered everybody by name, and he was just really fun to be around. And also he'd break a lot of the rules.
Having Mr. Evans as a teacher was his willingness to listen to student stories and his understanding when you were having a problem, and just how much he connected with his students and really got to know each and every one of them, and how he remembered every student from his past.